Hey guys, welcome back. It's Deb from Bowl Me Over. Come on into the kitchen. I'm excited to see you today. I don't know if you remember, but we had our renovation going on here at the house. We renovated our master bath. And honestly, I didn't think it would put a screeching halt to my filming, but it did. It was disruptive. It was loud and dusty and super dusty and all the things, but we're this close from being done. So I'm excited to be back in front of you and share some yummy recipes. And what we're gonna do today is something I think you're really gonna like, and that is slow cooker chicken cacciatore. This is a recipe that I first made for my grandma when we were in South Dakota visiting, and it was time to go to church. And that time that I made it, I actually made it in the oven where I browned the chicken pieces, and I should say I made it for 40 people. I browned the chicken pieces. We threw everything into the oven with onions and bell peppers and zucchini, put it on low and went to church, came back, and dinner was ready. It was wonderful. And since then, I've adapted it for my slow cooker. And I think it's handier for busy moms, for busy people. It's a great recipe. I think you'll like it. It's super easy. Let me show you what we're gonna need. And obviously it's chicken. You can use chicken thighs, boneless, skinless chicken thighs, or boneless, skinless chicken breasts, whatever you prefer. We're gonna add some zucchini, some onions, some bell peppers, a little garlic, mushrooms, a jar of seasoning. We're gonna cheat and use some seasoning. And speaking of cheating, a shortcut with some Italian dressing. And this is one of those mixes like you make salad dressing with, but we're not gonna mix it up. We're just gonna use the spices. So that is all we're gonna need for this recipe. Let's get going. I'm gonna start by spraying my crock pot because I'm lazy and I don't wanna have to work too hard when it comes time to clean up. And first thing we wanna do is put our chicken in the bottom. So, get my cutting board up. I don't know if you guys have seen these, what are they, platinum cutting boards? I got mine because the one that I had always used just made this, it had marks in it, and then you start worrying about, all those little cut marks. Is there any bacteria grow, blah, 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 plastic in your food, blah, blah, blah. So I started using these, and I really like them. I'll put a note down below if you're interested. And chicken. I'm using boneless, skinless chicken today. It's what I had them pick up the other day at the store. And hang on a sec here. I'm gonna cut them in bite-sized pieces that way, or not bite-sized, like serving kind of chunks, because that way it'll just be easier for serving purposes. So it'll almost be, like the right size for serving. And any fat that's on the chicken, I'm just gonna cut off. And as I prepare those, I'm just gonna drop them in the bottom of my crock pot. This guy looks pretty lean. That's perfect. And each piece, again, just cutting up in three pieces. And laying them in the bottom. This one could use a little more trimming. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Maybe I'll pull that off there. I don't like the skin in the crock pot. It just gets kind of rubbery, so I always try to trim that off pretty good. Okay. And that's nice because that way when you go to serve this, it makes it super easy. You can just grab one piece for each person. All right, let's get rid of that. And I'm gonna get rid of this, wash my knife, and I'll be right back. Okay, next up are the vegetables. And so what we're gonna do is, these are already washed. Just cut them up in large chunks. Hopefully I can do that without making too big of a mess. And there's no need to get all fancy and dice them up. That way, I like a more rustic meal. So if you prefer like a small dice, by all means, you can do that. I just like it to look kind of family style and rustic. I just have seeds everywhere. I should have brought my garbage bowl out, but I didn't. So right on top of the chicken breast. And next up, my yellow bell pepper. You can use whatever colors you have. I like the colored in this case because they have that little sweetness. But if you have green or just green's cheaper and that works for you, by all means, that's just fine. What I like about this is that it's an all-in-one meal. So yay. So I had mentioned in the beginning a little bit about the renovation, remodel, whatever you want to call it. And we've actually been living in a bubble. Here, hang on a sec here. This will be easier. Actually, they put up a plastic bubble that we would zipper in and out of every time you walked into the, like where not the bedroom, but in the bedroom where the bed is. So you'd actually have to unzip it and walk in, because I have like crazy allergies. Dan's pretty close behind me too. So they were taking that down because they were really, they're painting the ceiling of the bedroom. And they took it down the other day, and they were almost down with this giant plastic bubble with zippers on the side. And I yelled in there, "No, don't take it down." And I thought they were gonna die laughing. So it was funny. Okay. Zucchini is almost done. And if you have something you prefer more, like, maybe eggplant, or you don't like bell peppers, so you want something else instead, by all means, use that. If you want to hold off all vegetables, you can certainly do that too. I just think it makes it a whole lot easier. I don't know if you've seen, that was Joe stumbling into the kitchen, and now probably Sammy's going to come in too, because they have to see what Mama's doing. The nice thing about this, like, talk about quick prep, and off to work you go. And one onion. A can of mushrooms. I've already drained these. And again, if mushrooms aren't your thing, by all means, you could skip those. And my luck, I'll cut myself. So there we go. And last but not least, some garlic. And remember to make the garlic easy to peel. We're gonna pop it on the side with our knife. So we're gonna put the garlic on the cutting board. I'm gonna place my knife on it and then hit it with the heel of my hand. And that makes it super easy to peel. Wonderful. There's one. The second one. All the difference in the world. And the third one. I want about a tablespoon of garlic. It might sound like a lot, but by the time cooking is done, it just all melts into it and becomes just a nice flavors in the background. Okay. Now, when I'm gonna mince my garlic, if I minced it like that and just started here with it whole, it would take forever. And I wanna be quick. So again, this time I'm gonna really smash the garlic. And the next one. There we go. Got a couple overboard pieces. And that just makes it a little bit easier to mince. I'm going to use the knife. For me, I'm just going to rock it back and forth. I'm holding the top of it pretty secure. I'm just going to rock it back and forth, and that makes it easier to mince that garlic. Wonderful. Okay. And into our crock pot it goes. I'm going to show you a tip here at the end too. Okay. Wonderful. We're getting close. We're almost ready to be done with our prep. I'm going to take our Italian seasoning. Sprinkle it over the top. And that's going to work its way down to the chicken. Be really flavorful in all the veggies. It's perfect. And last but not least, our pasta sauce. Right over the top. And this is, you know, it's just, you use whatever pasta sauce that you and your family enjoy. Our prep is done. I'm going to put on the lid, turn it on low, hit enter. Our prep is done. I'm going to give you 2 tips too here before we let this cook all day. This will cook 6 to 8 hours on low. If you wanted to do it on high, it would be 4 hours on high. I always recommend though chicken you cook on low because it just has a better texture when you do. Okay, so enough of that. So we handled garlic. Let me give you 2 quick tips. We handled garlic. Of course, my hands smell like garlic. It's going to smell like garlic for a long time, but you know what? This is going to blow your mind. But the easiest way to get the smell of garlic off your hands is to rub it on stainless steel. So if you rub your hands on stainless steel, I don't know why, but the smell of garlic is completely gone. I kid you not. So that's a quick tip for the day. My second tip, and this is something I learned recently, is for years, and I do mean years, I had been sealing my crock pot, like putting on the lid and hooking those things on the side. And I learned recently when a reader wrote to me and she goes, "Deb, did you know you're not supposed to do that?" And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you are. And she's like, "No, you're not supposed to." So I Googled it, and yes, she was right. And so many, many thanks to her. It kind of turns into a pressure cooker then. And that's not something that you want. It's okay to have a little steam escape here and there with your crock pot. So when you latch on the top, that's if you're taking it somewhere. So just a quick tip, that's it. We're gonna let this cook again for 6 to 8 hours on low, and I'll be back and it'll be ready for dinner. I'll serve it with either mashed potatoes or egg noodles, but we'll give it a try. I think you're gonna like what you see. See you in a bit. Hey guys, welcome back. I am excited to say that the house smells so good. It's cooked all day. We're right at about pretty close to 8 hours, 7.5 maybe. Smells great. I did open it once and I added 2 tablespoons of cornstarch to 2 tablespoons of cold water. And that's just gonna thicken the broth a little bit. And when I serve this tonight, I'm gonna serve it over egg noodles. Or you could do rice, you could do quinoa, you could do nothing. You could chop this up in little pieces and it would make an incredible soup for that matter. But, so check it out. So here's a piece of chicken, mushroom, zucchini, and a bell pepper. Looks really good. Smells even better. Okay, I have a knife here, but, wow. I was gonna say, I have a knife here, but I really don't even need it. It just shreds right apart. I'm hoping it's not terribly hot, so hang on, let me see. Guys, that has great flavor. That is perfect. And what a nice freezer meal this is going to be too. Any leftovers, I can put those right in the freezer. This is really good. And I love that it is a meal in itself. Putting the cornstarch in it just helped make it a little bit heartier and probably more typical chicken cacciatore. And that shortcut of using the Italian salad dressing mix, like all the flavor with one shake instead of emptying out the cupboard to find all the right different ingredients. This is terrific. I think you're really gonna like it. I do appreciate you stopping by. Again, it's Deb from Bowl Me Over. Head over to the blog. You'll find some additional tips and tricks and things for this recipe. Make sure you scroll underneath the recipe card. You'll see some frequently asked questions and tips, things down there. If you have any questions though, pop me a line. I'd love it if you comment on the video. That helps me out so much. You can find the blog at bowlmeover.com, and we'll see you again soon, okay? Thanks for watching.